And that leads us right into our pay-per-view on Sunday
Yes.
night. AEW Revolution. Tim, you have the card? You want to go through it?
I do have the card up. I'm excited, and we're going to make some predictions, and we challenge you. If you're watching us live right now, get your predictions in as we're doing it, of course, but you will be listening to this hopefully before Sunday, so get your predictions into us at #TweetTheTable, and then we'll just see if you were right? We'll just see how cool you were versus us. We're clearly cooler, but you know. AEW Revolution. Tom, you ready for this? I've got this up on this is cnet.com, but this was posted today based on the most recent things. It's up at cnet.com because AEW, swing and a miss, doesn't put the card up for the events on their website.
That's unfortunate.
Don't like that. Poor form. But let's go right here. So, by the way, don't sue us if I'm getting something wrong, right? Blame CNET. And as another caveat, we're doing this on Thursday night, March 2nd. So Rampage is not aired, and we do not read the spoilers, so we don't know. AEW Tag Team Championships are on the line. As you mentioned, the Guns, the current champions, taking on the Acclaimed, the former champions, versus Jay Lethal. And they don't have Jay Lethal is with Jarrett, right? Jeff Jarrett versus Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. I mean, we talked about the story and how we got here with all these teams, but this is basically either the Guns or the Acclaimed, right?
I don't know.
Ooh, you think Orange Cassidy and Danhausen might pull this down, or what do you got? What's your prediction?
So we've done the All-Atlantic champion is also another champion when Pac was the Trios champion and then the All-Atlantic champion. So it's not like AEW has never done that before. So a double champ could easily happen. Now, I think the safest, and like if I were to put money on it, is Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal are taking the pin to one of the three teams. I think if we're betting money or we're really taking this serious and not just doing for funsies, I think the Ass Boys get the victory because Billy Gunn says, fuck the Acclaimed. And so that's how we're going to get Ass Boys with the victory. And there you go.
I think you're spot on. I think Billy Gunn gives the KCCP to Max Caster. And I think we get the Guns celebrating with Daddy, reunited, all hugs. We continue the Acclaim versus the Guns saga. But the Acclaimed, this is their kind of breaking away from Daddy Ass. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Jeffrey Sills in the chat says the Guns are winning and Danhausen is taking that pin. I think
easy, yeah. No, well, if it's Danhausen could definitely take the pin and not have anything happen to him.
True.
But I still think it's them.
Yeah. All right, Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks is winning this. This is the easiest call to make because if he doesn't, Jesus Christ, it either kills the Ricky Starks character or we've got to do this again.
And we might do it again because we probably have a AEW special event name and it's going to, do something like that. I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked if that happens. I'm going to go with Ricky Starks though, because I feel as if we know that this is done. I think Chris Jericho's next chapter, because it seems like breaking the fourth wall and peeking behind the curtain, it looks like he wants to do Action Andretti. It feels as if we had Ricky Starks on the book, so let's just go back to that to get to this pay-per-view. But then after that, I want to work with this guy. And so don't be shocked if the JS come down there, Action Andretti comes down, he costs Jericho the match, and then Jericho has his sights on him. Ricky Starks then hopefully, look, I know we already did it once, but have him call out MJF again. Say, hey, we both won, spoiler alert, but we both won our matches at the pay-per-view. Let's run this back, motherfucker.
As much as AEW has, we applaud them for taking that chance, right? They'll throw random name you've probably never heard of out there for several weeks in a row to try to see if they'll catch fire. But there's been so many examples of somebody starting to catch fire and they just don't strike while the iron is hot. Orange Cassidy at one point, we would have put the world title on him. You know what I mean? Like, it was still might, but like there was a time where he was on top and they just didn't do it, right? Ricky Starks, I feel like they just kind of missed the hottest point Ricky Starks was when everybody was behind him. Hook, same thing, right? Like, I think they don't know it when they see it, but they keep trying to find it. And here we are with Action Andretti, Lee Moriarty for the 17th time whenever they try him again, right? Where it's just like, hey, man, some aren't working. It's clear pretty early, but they don't seem to pick up on the ones that aren't working pretty early.
Yes, I agree. I think the hardest thing, especially with someone like Ricky Starks, is they don't prepare for, oh shit, this guy's a thing. And whether this is for better or for worse, they say MJF's next opponent is going to be with Bryan Danielson. So they continue with that. Now, that's a kind of your preference thing, because we've heard the horror stories of Vince McMahon shows up day of WrestleMania, rips up the script, and now we've got this disjointed, weird ass finish, and it doesn't make sense to a story that now, what the fuck is this, right? So there's pros and cons.
Sure.
I agree with you. I do think they've missed sometimes big moment spots when we were in Chicago and the Acclaimed versus Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, for an example. But they do get there. It's not always on time, but they will get there.
Jeffrey Sills in the chat says, Action Andretti comes out to help Jericho and joins the Jazz Holes.
No, why would he do that? He already beat Jericho. Why would
not? Money. Fucking money. It's clear this guy's better than you. Fucking.
Hold on, but now because that's the Garcia story. We already did this with Garcia.
Yeah, but Jericho loves to do the thing over and over again.
Nah, that's too many people.
Not for, fuck. Jericho loves. They had 12 people in that group at one point.
You get what I'm saying, though. I don't think that. I mean, hey, look, it could, right? I'm not saying.
Won't shock me if it doesn't.
Won't shock me, but I wouldn't put money on it. I would not bet on that. But we'll see.
The odds might be good. You might bet on it because of the odds. Throw a $5 on that.
Isn't that fucking weird that you can bet on pro wrestling?
Yeah, they advertise DraftKings. You can go on. I kind of want to do it. Just throw some $5 down on some.
I kind of want to meet. Well, yeah. I want to meet one of these fucking writers and be like, just throw me and I'll split half. Like, how the fuck does that not happen?
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Now, trust me.
I'm sure it does.
Trust me.
I'm sure the writers are throwing some info out to some folks.
Well, but I am very familiar with trying to manipulate the betting lines for DraftKings, as I have had some personal friends do that and not be successful. You can look that up.
Well, they were successful, and that's what got them caught, right? I mean,
well, yeah, they went one time too many. But I still, just generally speaking, I would just do $100 every other pay-per-view on. There'll be 3 chair shots in the John Moxley Hangman match. You know what I mean? It's like nothing crazy and not get all.
Yeah, but what are the John Moxley will bleed bet is like minus 2,500, right?
Yeah. Not those, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, you would do it just like you cheat on a test. You can't get 100%. Yeah. You get an 89. You get an 85. Like you get my 90, but you never get 100 because then that's when it calls you out.
Right. Yeah, you can't take the bizarre one and you dump $1 million on it, and then they go, well, what did you know here, right? It's a long con. You got to play the long con with that as well.
Well, that's what happened with my friends.
Well, I know that's what.
So
friend of the show, even
he was on the show. I beat him in an ECW trivia contest. Yeah, that was fun. All right, what's the next matchup?
The next matchup is for the AEW TNT Championship. The champion Samoa Joe, the king of television, defends against Wardlow. This is a tough call. I could see it going either way, but I feel like Joe wins.
What?
Yeah. I guess, I mean, they are trying to push Wardlow again, so it wouldn't make sense to kill him off, but like, didn't we already do this with Wardlow and it didn't work?
Well, but what are we going to do with Powerhouse Hobbs? It's Powerhouse Hobbs is the heel.
Just takes on Joe. Oh yeah, but Joe's a heel, huh? Yeah, sorry. Right. Yeah, you're probably right. Wardlow probably wins. God,
Wardlow, he can't cut his hair and then lose. You know? He looks smaller with the haircut, if that can be possible. He looked even more lean with a buzz cut than he did with his long hair. No. Wardlow is fine. My problem, and I'm saying this as a Taz fan. Taz is in my top 5. I am saying this as a Taz mark. But when your gimmick is the biggest, baddest, toughest, and you're not even bigger than 2/3 of the roster, kind of falls flat. Because he's also not doing crazy ass moves. To Taz's credit, he was throwing Bam Bam Bigelow through the fucking ring, and he was doing all these crazy shit. Wardlow's doing Swanton Bomb.
We need more of a Playboy gimmick, because I'll give him this. He's a handsome guy, right? So let's get him back in the suits. Let's get him, you know what I mean? Let's maybe not make him a baby face. Let's let him like being schemy here, right? Like let's let him trying to use his like good looks and, or whatever for his advantage, right?
Or just give him, in my opinion, I wouldn't make him a heel. I would just make him more of a John Moxley babyface, where it's like, he doesn't give a fuck about your opinion, but you're going to like him. You know what I mean? Like John Moxley's
like war to
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. So, but I got Wardlow to retain, because then Samoa Joe has to go to Ring of Honor to put some stories there for their next pay-per-view coming up.
Jeffrey Sills says Wardlow wins, but they're going to push him the right way this time. I think with a new look, he will do a new finisher. And maybe it's time to get away from the Powerbomb Symphony.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not doing more than setting him sing. I think you should do a high-flying move. Not the Swanton Bomb, but something similar to that. That's what I would do.
All right. Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy. Jack Perry is winning this. Unless we get Luchasaurus comes back.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's the swerve we're all not expecting, because they have not mentioned the guy's name. But we talked about he's embroiled in a lawsuit, right? Well, can he just come out with a new mask? But would that give into the lawsuit? They'd be like, you were wrong. Yeah. I don't know.
Drops the gimmick, just comes out as himself. He's going to be Jack Perry. I'm going to be, I'm going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin or whatever the fuck.
Be Austin. What's his fuck? I think his name is Austin. I don't know. He was on Big Brother, right? Or one of them fucking shows.
I don't know. I just found out about this fucking Impractical Jokers from you from a couple weeks ago. Now I'm seeing fucking ads for it. It's so weird how TVs work and all the shit, all the media. We talked about it once, and now I'm seeing it on my ads before YouTube, and I'm like, how the fuck?
Oh, my daughter is shopping for a new car and has sent me a couple things, to be like, Dad, what is this? Is this good or not? And now everything when I scroll is
car max.
Looking for a new car, looking for a new car, looking for a new. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah,
everything.
But yeah, with this, what are we saying here? We're gonna say, we already did our picks, right?
I'm saying Christian Cage wins, or no, Jungle Boy wins. Jack Perry.
You say Jungle Boy.
Excuse me.
So here's my thought. Yeah, because I was doing my deep thought. So here's the thought. You can't necessarily do Jungle Boy gets jumped by Luchasaurus, because we did that at All Out when Jungle Boy got turned by Luchasaurus and Christian Cage won. So we can't really do that.
Or maybe he gets the better of it this time.
Well, but possibly. But then I don't think we can necessarily do the Jungle Boy overcomes, because we did that with Luchasaurus in a cage match, which was fucking rad. But I don't know. I think we get a schmoz. I think Jungle Boy, but it continues. That's what I'll say. Jungle Boy, but it continues. And this is where I think they're going to pivot and say, we want singles gold. We're tired of each other. But then they get wrapped into a triple threat for All Atlantic Championship or something like that.
I agree with Jeffrey Sills in the chat. Jack Perry wins and does the concerto.
Oh, thwap. Yeah. Thwap. Yeah, he pulls the trigger. Yeah.
Yep. Thwap. All right, AEW Women's Championship match. Jamie Hayter, the champion, defending against Saraya and Ruby Soho. So now I'm torn. I feel like it's what you said, but it's still the same. Where Tony Khan said, oh, it's going to be this WWE girls versus AEW girls. It's not that. Now it's just this triple threat title match, but it's still the same thing. We don't know which way Ruby Soho leans. And during the match, she's going to be conflicted on who to kind of help in these moments where she's got a chair and can maybe hit either one or whatever it is. And the whole time, we're not expecting it. In comes the low blow to Jamie Hayter from Britt Baker. And I guess give Saraya the victory? That's what I'm going with. I don't even like it when I said it. Now I don't believe it.
But that all makes sense.
Yeah.
That all makes
Right.
sense. Because I think the turning point comes, the way I see it in my mind's brain, is Ruby Soho is standing over Saraya and Jamie Hayter. Maybe the both of them are on all fours to expose their back, and she has the chair and she's like, and then Britt Baker comes in, fucking gives her that super kick to the face. Yeah, gives her the super kick. She falls. She picks up the chair, looks at Saraya, and then whop, hits Jamie Hayter. Saraya then gets the victory.
Over.
Yep.
I don't even think you got to hit Hayter. I think she just Ruby's about to hit somebody. She doesn't know who, right? We're all like, who's she gonna hit? Who's she gonna hit? Who's she gonna hit? And then she gets the Ric Flair uppercut to the ovaries, and then she just drags Saraya over, and everybody's like, what? Right? Like everybody's like, what the fuck? Instead of dragging Jamie Hayter when they were both laying there prone.
Yeah, that actually would be, I like that better, because then Jamie Hayter says, I didn't lose. Like, I didn't lose this match, but I lost my title and Britt Baker broke my heart. So now I'm fucking pissed.
Yeah. Because this is where Jeffrey Sills in the chat, he says, if they take the belt off Jamie Hayter, I'm boycotting. She has to have the Britt Baker story still. So I think she'll have that Britt Baker story. However, Saraya is going to be the champ. And now she's got to it'll be interesting to see how they tell why, right? Why?
Well, it could just be she's a legend. I need to learn from people who aren't a rookie like Jamie Hayter. She could say something like that. But then that would position them different. Because my whole theory was that Britt Baker is the Hulk Hogan, right? So the leader.
Should be the Scott Hall.
But if you put the belt on Saraya, no. So I'm changing my fucking mind. It's Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter wins, and we flirt with it. We flirt with Britt Baker did something that seemed fucking weird. What was that? Yeah, what was that? And then, fuck yeah, got it right there. Got that motherfucker. Look at this. This fucking rules when I'm awesome.
Cyrus, Tony.
Yeah. So Jamie Hayter picks up the victory, but Britt Baker on accident maybe grabbed her foot when she went into the ropes. Something similar to that,
Almost cost her the match.
Yeah. And then Jamie Hayter's like, what the fuck, right? So then she wins. I'm the champion, Then Britt Baker's like, hey, after the pay-per-view, she says maybe on Rampage or Dynamite, hey, it's time for me to be the DMD of this division. She gets a couple victories. Then we do another triple threat with Toni Storm or Saraya, one of those two. And then that's when Saraya and Britt Baker team up. Britt Baker gets the championship. Check out my pussy.
Yeah, look at my tits. All right. AEW Trios Championship match, The Elite versus the House of Black. And I think we're going to get the titles change hands here.
Yeah, I think everyone knows that they need it more than the Elite, and the Elite need to be doing some more fun things.
Now, do we get something actually spooky out of the House of Black?
Sting Probably joins. Not. He's Probably the leader.
Not. No, here's what happens. I bet Buddy Murphy wins in a fucking roll-up on Nick Jackson because it's that style of wrestling that they all like. The jumps, the kicks, the flips, the over-thought-of spots that are ill-timed. All right. we'll get the House of Black wins.
I think the House of Black wins. I think Brody King is the one who says, I'm the bully in the playground, and he fucks up all three of them. And even this is where I think if you're going to be spooky, you're going to be this, we're aligned because of our belief in a devil or whatever it is, this is where Brody King, how I would do it. Again, if I have the pen,
slaughter some folks.
Well, I would have him fucking run through the Elite. And then when Malachi and Buddy are like, hey, high five. He's like, what the fuck you think this is? He looks at them and no, cool, yep, we're gonna do your shit.
You guys think we've been following a higher power? Who the fuck do you think he is?
Yeah, I mean, maybe not that, but maybe get him to do spots where, oh shit, I think he could kill everyone on the roster.
Almost as if hey, don't get us too angry, or we're gonna unleash the beast on you. Yeah, I don't hate that idea either. I would like something somewhat spooky that would cause the Young Bucks to maybe be like, "What the fuck just happened to us?" Right? and maybe get them off of the like, hey, we're all dressed like the Midnight Rockers for a little bit, right? Like a little bit of a change from the Young Bucks wouldn't hurt.
Yeah,
Go through some dark times, right?
Yeah, I think though the most vital person in this match to make whole and make happy and get on a track that they're happy with is Kenny Omega. I think he's not getting any younger. His style does not age well. It's not the Kevin Nash style of wrestling, so he doesn't have that much left in him. And if you're peeking behind the curtain,
Even
and
the
you
Kevin
see on
Nash
Twitter,
style didn't hold up to his quads.
well, but
Right?
that's his fault.
Yeah.
But if you're reading on Twitter some of the dirt sheets, Kenny Omega might be flirting with WWE. So that's where it's like, hey, Kenny, what do you want to do?
That'll suck.
What do you want to do? Like, do you want to do everything? We'll have you do everything. You want to beat
That'll suck.
MJF? Have him beat him.
How many times incoming? They've got to do the fucking Too Sweet Me Bro to fucking the AJ Styles and the Good Brothers and to the fucking Finn Balor.
What are you talking about?
When Kenny Omega goes over there and fucking.
Oh, you're saying when he goes to the WWE? Yeah, we got to tell that fucking story.
All the
who's
finger
the true
kisses.
Leader?
All the
well, who's the true
kisses.
leader?
Yeah,
Was
who
it
was the
Finn?
real
Was
club?
it AJ?
Yeah.
Was it Kenny?
You guys are the original club, but I'm the real club. Yeah, fucking Christ.
Yeah, cool.
I'm the elite club. That's what it'll be. He'll go over
He
there and
ain't
be the
going.
elite club.
He ain't going. He ain't going. No. This
I
guy,
hope not. Hope not.
this fucking guy, he's staying. Look at that. 69 Don.
Yeah.
He's staying.
Look like a poor man's Lenny.
Yeah.
Lenny.
Look at
Yeah.
that jacket.
All right.
Woo.
Texas Death, John Moxley, Hangman Page. I feel like Hangman wins this, but I don't know.
Yeah. No, I do. I got Hangman, and I think
You're betting on it.
yeah, I'm taking Hangman. And this is why. I think from a story perspective, if you recall when he did that promo before they doubled down on we're running back John Moxley match at pay-per-view, he said he needs to mend some fences with other people in his past. So I think he is the look at me, I'm king of death. And the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are kind of down on their luck. What the hell? We're kind of sad. And Hangman's like, what's up? Thought we're fucking elite, huh? Fuck you guys pissing in your dick for? Like, look, fucking get out there and beat some ass. And then we get that story.
That again, if they were down after having been put through some dark times, right? A dark team beat the shit out of them in a manner they're not used to, and Hangman's coming around going like, "Hey, look, I'm soaring to new heights because I just bloodied a motherfucker. Maybe it's time you guys got a little more aggressive. Stop being so. Ooh, look, forget the tassels.
Yeah.
Let's fucking rip out some assholes, right?"
Yeah.
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 Right? Yeah. Right? That's the thing the kids say. All right.
Yeah.
So you're
Fuck
saying
yeah, it
Hangman.
is. Hangman.
Hangman wins, and it sets him up to be MJF's next title defense, says Jeffrey Sills. Which would be foreshadowing because he then clearly thinks MJF is winning the next match, which is the AEW Championship 60-minute Iron Man match, MJF versus Bryan Danielson. This one's interesting to me because I, too, believe MJF comes away still holding the title here. But how do we get there and how do we tell that story? How does MJF outlast with more victories than Bryan Danielson? I assume you're going to say MJF wins this as well?
Yes.
So how do we get there?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. I have full faith, though, that these two guys are going to get there in a great way. That's one of the things I think that goes unsaid about MJF, too, is we talk about his great promos, and he's good in the ring, but also, like, it's not even that he's just good in the ring with the moves. They tell a good story when he's in there in a match as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can I tell you what I want? Just to fuck with everyone because you fucking dumb shit. Ooh, I gotta
Bryan
know
Danielson
all the bits. No. Bryan Danielson loses, but just to fuck with all the people that think they know every goddamn backstage detail and the fucking wrestlers' wives, Instagram fucking stories and all this bullshit. I hope William Regal fucking comes out and cost Bryan Danielson the match. That had never fucking happened. It was all a work. Wouldn't that be great? Just to fuck you to all these dumb shit neckbeards that think they fucking need to know everything backstage. God, that would make me so happy.
That would be great. The reason I don't think that'll happen is because once the news was out that Regal was going back to WWF, like they would have denied it. They would have came out and actively said, no. Like they're the type that like, no, you don't lie about us.
Know.
Right?
I know, but I'm just saying that would be the coolest.
Oh, it would be the best story told.
Yeah.
Yes, if William Regal were to come out and swerve and fucking nut punch old Bryan Danielson, old open mouth smile guy, God, it would be great.
Yeah, so I think MJF wins. The question is, because I think Hangman is on deck, if not up next, right? He's in that sphere pretty soon. Does MJF do this regrouping of a faction? Does he do the Pinnacle 2.0 and it's another set of people? Like it was going to be the Firm, but the Firm fucking sucks. Here's more of elite. Because unfortunately, as great as MJF is, and he's fucking awesome, his pattern is kind of laid out of how he does feuds.
What if it's the Dark Order? What if the Dark Order comes out and helps?
I wouldn't hate it. Wouldn't hate it.
And now here comes Hangman as like the contender, but MJF's leading his homies, and he's like, what the fuck, guys? This guy? They'd be like, well, you weren't around. Fucking, we needed a friend, man. No, it'd be a stretch to get there.
Yeah, but something's happening. I don't know what it is, but something's happening.
Yeah, because we're not ever been led to believe, like we are led to believe that MJF might be an underrated, even on story that they tell us, like he's underrated in the ring, right? That he's that good, that he can be a world champion. He doesn't need the tactics he does, but he does them. But we are also led to believe that he is not Bryan Danielson level of let's line up for 60 minutes and see who can secure the most pinfall submissions, whatever. And so that's the interesting part of this story to me.
It could be just as simple as he gets one victory being a wrestling machine like over Bryan Danielson, right? Because someone can, a clock's right twice a day kind of story where he gets a pinfall. But Bryan Danielson's picking up victories as well. And then it could just be as simple as the Dynamite Diamond Ring makes its way back to MJF's fist and hits Bryan Danielson. Oh my God, as I was saying it, it would also be fun, but you'd have to really know, but it's kind of AEW on brand. It's Naomi helps MJF. So the fiance that dumped him comes out and is like, here you go. And then he's like, yeah, I got my family. Boom. And now he's the happiest man in the world because he's your champion and he has his woman back.
All right. So you said Naomi for a second. And I was like, what? And I was thinking WWE Naomi, who we haven't seen.
Oh, no.
But then when you said the fiance, I get you. Yeah. But I was like,
do you know who she is?
Well, that would be interesting.
Well, do you know who she is? So do you remember when MJF did that entrance where he had two girls like holding the ropes for him and he was wearing that crown and he made out with that one?
Yeah.
That's her.
That was
that was her.
Yeah. So yeah,
MJF
I still
is
think
winning,
MJF
but we don't
wins.
know how.
Yeah.
We just don't know how.
That's going to be the interesting thing. And again, they've got an hour to tell that story. The rest of this card is 7 matches. Jeffrey Sills mentioned it's got to be 4 hours tops, and it might stretch every minute of that.
If we're reviewing the card, this is where some of the fat needs to be trimmed. Christian versus Jungle Boy, we don't need on this. This could be a Dynamite match.
Jericho versus Ricky Starks, we don't need.
Jericho versus Ricky Starks is definitely a Rampage or Dynamite match. You'd have
6 matches without that. It would be just fine. One's an hour long.
Well, and honestly, the other one that I would cut from this card, House of Black. House of Black and the Elite, because they haven't told a story yet. Have some stories,
True. Yeah. Then 5 matches. You could get 3 hours, 5 matches with one's an hour. Yep.
And do some promos and some other stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think you'd have a good show, but we're gonna do 7 hours because got to get your money's worth.
I get this is supposed to be a big one, right? Revolution is one of their.
And it's in California. It's a new market for them, so they want to come out swinging. But yeah, make it more enjoyable by not making it a marathon. There's a reason why baseball that doesn't have a clock added a pitch clock because people won't want to fucking marathon be at places or do things for that fucking long.